All right, so just be honest. I saw some of you had blanks. Just put NR there, no response, if you didn't respond. But the rest of the marks you should still be able to get. Okay, so this triangle right here. I have two angles. I'm going to go ahead and find this one here. So I'm just going to show my work. Just go 180 minus 41 minus 62. That is 77 degrees. Okay, I'll give you a mark for that today. It could vary, sometimes half a mark, sometimes a full mark. Today we'll just give you, for that to show up, because it unlocks everything, is a mark. Why did I do that? Because I could tell that I would get my pair out of that. And so we know that it's sine law if you can somehow find a pair. So here we go, sine of 77 over 1375. I'm being asked to solve for this, so I need sine of 62. That is important. If you picked 41, take off a mark, because you're solving for this side, okay? So that's a conceptual error. So you get E, so you cross, multiply, and divide. I would like to see some work there, just for the sake of this AC, because we're running short on time. I'm just going to fast forward to the final answer. So in a sense, you get 1 for the 77, you get 1 mark for the correct setup, and you get 1 mark for the correct final answer. Of course, if your setup is wrong, take off 1 mark. I still give you the mark for the work that followed to get that answer. So obviously you would have, your answer would be less than this if you picked 41. That's something that I would be looking for. Okay. Next, this is a side scenario. And we're asking for this angle. So I'm trying to solve for angle x. So cosine of x. The key here is that the side that subtracts is across the angle they're trying to find. So this should be 16.5 squared. And then you fill in the rest with the other two sides. Emphasis on minus at the end. If you don't have the 16.5 at the end here, you go minus 1 today. Okay? And then it's 2 times 11.4 times 7.9. Emphasis on this today. Okay, so you get minus 1 if you don't have that 16.5 there. And the rest is just doing the top and bottom separately. So you get negative 79.88 over 180.12. And next step would be angle x is cosine inverse of this, which is negative 0.443, and that keeps going. And that's 116.33. Okay, so 1 mark for setup, 1 mark for the work, and the final final answer. Okay, so that should be pretty straightforward. You've got 5 marks involved there. Now some easy marks, compass direction. So this would be, I start measuring from northwest, southeast. Okay, wherever the angle is, it's right here. So I'm going to go north 65 degrees east. 1 mark for that. Here it's with respect to the west line, so west 18 degrees south, right? You're going from west south. Here I'm going to start south 21 degrees east. So 1, 1, 1, right? Just like that. Then I ask you to sketch it. I really want you to use rulers for compass direction. So north 25 west, it's going this way. I need to see the 25 in there. West 55 south, so you start west, you turn 55, this would be 45, so 55. I don't really care if it's drawn to scale, but that's what it would look like approximately. Then it's south 71 west. So south, you turn 71 degrees west, so it would look something like that. So the 71 should be there. So 1, 1, and 1 if you did that right. Approximately is fine. Don't stress over that mine looks a little smaller. That's not a big deal to me. So this page is worth 11. So maybe do a subtotal there. Yeah, let me just close the door. And Absolutely, we'll figure that one out. Okay, two scuba divers are 25 meters apart at the surface of the water. They spot a shark below them that is to the right of diver 1 and to the left of diver 2. What's going on there, right? This is what's happening. This is diver 1, this is diver 2. They're on top of the ocean surface, right? And so it's to the left of diver 2, to the right of diver 1. So it's saying somewhere, if this is the bottom of the ocean, it's somewhere in between. So that's important. The shark angle of depression of 47 and 39 is used. So that means that this is 47 here. That's the shark. And it's 39 from here down is 39. So this should be 39 and this should be 47. Just because it says respectively, that means first diver 1, then diver 2. Okay, so that's what's happening there. 25 meters apart, so 25 goes there. So if you have all of those numbers where they're supposed to go, you get a full mark for that. Distance from each diver to the shark. So, and again, here it hinges on finding this third angle to have your pair. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a mark for that. So if I see, what is that, 94? If I see 94 there, that is a mark for sure. So that would go under the 3 here. So 1 mark for 94 degrees. Then you have your pair, sine of 94 over 25, distance from each diver to the shark. So let's get this one right. I'm going to call this X, I'm going to call this Y. So I need to use sine of 47 over Y, right? That will solve for Y. That's what I need to see. And so Y is 1833. So as long as you have one of them being 1833, because I didn't specify which one is which. So as long as I see 1833, you're good. You do this again. And if you want to solve for X, you're finding, you're using sine of 39. And so X would be 1577. Okay. I'll change the marks here. Let's cross the 3 out. I'll give you 2 marks for the first sine law, and I'll give you 1 mark for the second sine law, because you're using sine law again. So 2 marks for, so again, 1 mark for the 94, 2 marks for the first side that you solved, 1 mark for the second side that you solved for. So this is actually worth 5 marks. B is worth 5 marks. How far below the divers is the shark? So it's asking for the height of the triangle. So if you solve for the height, use one of these slants. We know that this one is 1833, this one is 1577. Use either one. If you use this one, you want to use that angle, sine of that angle. So you're going to go 1833 times sine of that angle. If you want to use this slant, you got to make sure you use that angle. Regardless, I'm just going to tell you that if you use 1577, for instance, then I got to use sine of 47. And so height is 1153 meters. Do you get the same for the other side? 1833? I think, I mean, it would be off by decimals, in which case we wouldn't care. If it's like off by 0.01, not a worry at all, okay? As long as you show me your work. That's what I care about. It's just going to happen. The more options we have, there's a chance that we're going to be off by a little bit. Remember, I could have given you the height right from the get-go, the depth, and you have to be a bit careful. Sometimes, folks, you have to ignore the height sometimes. It depends, right? Yeah.
For the height, I got
9.93?
9.93.
Did you use the exact same numbers or different numbers? Did you use the 1833?
15. I used 39 degrees. Oh, to do it on for like.
For my diagram, it would have to be times sine of 47. You know what I mean? So at somewhere you would lose a mark, yeah. So as long as you somewhere take a mark off, you're fine. We'll honor the rest. Yeah. 5. This one is 5. So 1 for the 94, right? This one. 2 marks for using sine law once to solve for one of the sides. And then 1 mark for using sine law again for the other side. So you decide how you want to spread it out.
And we get one for A2.
You get 1 for this. Yeah.
So the, no, I mean for the sketch.
Yeah, you get 1 for this. So 4 in total is 1 and 5, that's 6. And another one is 7. 7 marks for question 4 in total. Yeah. Oh. That's what I get for hurrying. Yeah, thank you. Point taken. That's why you're confused, right? Sorry about that. Yeah, because there's 2, 3, 4. My bad. Only 4 marks for B. So then it would be 4, 5, 6. 6 in total for question 4. Are we good now? Sorry about that. If I only knew how to count, that would go a long ways, eh? You get to have a good laugh. My teacher messes up all the time. Okay? Right? There we go. I take it. Full responsibility. Okay, Mr. Rickson is planning to scouting a particular area. He leaves the parking lot in the direction north. So this is reviewing compass directions, which, by the way, you can expect tomorrow. Okay? Compass directions. So north 23 west, I start here, so this is north. I go 23 degrees west, so it needs to go there. Walks about 5.6 kilometers, so the 5.6 goes there. Reaches a swamp, turns in the direction west 43 south. This is west. I'm going 43 south, so 43 should go right there. That is important. The location of these compass directions is important. Make sure you put them where they belong. Sometimes we do wishful thinking and we put it where we like it to be. Put it where it should be. Okay? Next. And walks 2.4 kilometers. So this stretch is 2.4. No matter what you do, guys, please don't extend this so that it's perfectly lined up with your starting point, because then you'll start making stuff up that isn't there. Okay? So let's see what we do here. If you got this right, I will give you today 2 marks actually for this. 1 mark for this combo, 1 mark for this combo, like the angle and the side length. If you have them in the right place, you get 2 marks for that. Now let's clean this up. This is the hardest part in my opinion. This 23 touches the vertical line here, so it has to touch the vertical, so the 23 comes in here. Then I have a 90 here, so I'm going to use that to figure out this. This is 47. Okay. So this angle, if you combine it, gives you 70. And that's going to count a full mark to have the 70 there. Okay. So I was able to bring the 23 in there. I used this 43 to figure out that, I wouldn't say half of the angle, but that chunk of the angle. Then I combined. So the 70 is worth a full mark. And then let's carry over whatever else we can. Okay? Emphasis on the 1. This is the clean version. So 2 marks for the interpretation, 1 mark for the clean version. The 70 is really, this is the most important part. If you don't have the 70 there, you don't get the mark here. Okay, you lose it, but you still get the marks for the work that follows your clean version. So don't leave this blank, okay? No matter what you do, don't leave it blank. Oh, that's it? Okay. Not even solving? I probably would ask you to solve for this, right? Cosine law, SAS. Next, a plane is leaving the airport. So this is from scratch. You're leaving the airport south 30 east. So I would have a little sketch here, north, south, west, east, like that. So we're going southeast. We're going in this direction first. Lands and then flies north 42 east. So then we're going from here north 42. We're going in that direction. So now you kind of have an idea of what to expect. Okay, this is kind of what I'm going. I'm going this way, then I'm going that way. So now I'm gonna, this is very small, I apologize, but we're gonna make this work. Make your compass rose somewhat visible, okay? So south 30 east, we're going this direction. So the 30 goes in there for 230. Okay, then lands, and then we're doing another one, and I'm just gonna do part of this. North 42 east. So north, and I'm 40, this is 45, so it's basically a 45. And we're traveling for 450 kilometers. I'll make that longer than my first side. And this is 42 here. So you gotta make sure you put that in the right place. It's this one right here compared to the north side, right? So you get 1 mark for the correct combo here, 1 mark for the correct combo there. I'll increase the marks here. Oh no, this is it. This is it, sorry. That is it for this one. If you did that, you're good. Now we're gonna do our clean version, but I'm gonna leave this empty here and do the clean version here, just to give myself some room. So I kind of just use the angles I've already formed, right, and just copy that over, just like that. It would be probably a good idea to say you start, you turn, and this is your final destination or end, okay? Just to have letters that you can work with. This is 450.1, this is 230.4, and we not need to bring 1 angle over. 99% of the time, you only get to bring 1 over with you. So this 30 goes in here. Just remember, it touches the vertical. Then you combine these two to 72. So you get a mark for this clean version here. So you get 2 marks for this, 1 mark for that. And then it says calculate how far the airport is from the final destination. So they want this one here, right? Or side T, whatever you want to do there. So x squared is equal to 230.4 squared plus 450.1 squared minus 2 times 230 cosine of 72. Just be careful what you do with those angles. Sometimes I give you the outsides, then you have to use a straight angle, subtract these two to get the middle. So you got to be creative. It's not always going to look the same. Then you square root all of this, which is 191,582. Big numbers, but remember you've got your awesome calculators. At the end of the day, you get this. So you get 2 marks for using cosine law. And the 1 mark that makes this 3 is your clean diagram. That's why this is worth 3 marks. So let's do this again. Let's see if I get this right. 4, 5. So 6 and 3 is 9 and 2 is 11 and 3 is 14. So the back side is worth 14. 14 and 11, right? 14 and 11. That's 25. So make this out of 25.